Hi guys, it's Clarice and welcome to another tutorial with me for Procreate. In today's video, we are going to learn how to do something cute and dainty looking like this wreath right here. And we're going to use some of the concepts that I have shown you guys in my previous videos. Alright, so before we begin, just want to let you know, if you are new to my channel, I do videos like this, mini Procreate videos, that is, every Saturday, and then I dominantly have a lot of watercolor videos, so please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and check out some of the other videos. Alright, so let's begin. So to start off, I am just going to show you that I've kind of roughly done this out so that you guys can have an idea of what we are aiming for. So I'm going to close that up and just make sure that I delete all of this before we begin. Alright, so I am using a canvas that is 1500 by 1500 pixels, and we are going to start off by creating a new layer, and right away we are going to fill it with the color that we want for the background. So I'm going to use this really light pistachio green almost that I have going on, and clicking over there, I'm just going to drag it onto this layer right here, and here we go. Let's just rename this to background. Oops. And once we have that, we're going to start another layer, and this is where we're going to have our basic wreath happening. So let's rename this to base wreath, because it'll be the base shape for it. And now once we have this, we're going to use the drawing guide. So remember that. So click on the tool button or the wrench, click on drawing guide, make sure it's on. And how did I get this little cross thing? So when you click on edit drawing guide, it'll come up, it'll show up like this, and you want to make sure you have clicked on symmetry and you're clicked on quadrant. Also make sure assisted drawing is on, and then obviously the thickness and opacity is just to see your guide over here. So it really depends on what your preference is. Once you're done, click on done, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just check to make sure that our layer has assisted, and you're going to see what this means. So it does say assisted below it. So we're going to now click on here and select the first color we're going to use. So the first color I want to use is, I'm going to use the green. No, I'm going to use the brown first. And now we get to select our brush. So now I have selected a brush that I have downloaded from one of the amazing Procreate pros out there. This is by the Pigeon Letters. I think that's what her blog is called. I downloaded this a while back, so I don't quite remember her name, but I will be sure to link her link where you can get this brush below in the description. So please make sure to check that. All right, so now that we have that, we're going to be using this brush throughout. So first things first, we're going to create the base. So how the quadrant works is, as soon as you kind of draw something, it reflects all over. So that's the whole idea with symmetry and mirroring it. So we're going to create some, what's the word I'm looking for? We're going to create some twiggy looking things. And this is to kind of give our wreath some twigs and some floral shapes. So I'm just creating it in an oval shape. So I've done one this way, and then I'm going to do another one this way, and that will close up the circle. And again, I'm trying to not make this too, I don't want that shape. I'm trying to not make this too, what's the word? Too symmetrical. So I'm going to have this one kind of aiming outward. Whoops. And then I'm just going to create, just got to keep making these tiny little errors in here. So let's just zoom in, shall we? we can zoom in because we want to just focus in on this area, although it would be nice to see everything. So I'm just going to make sure all of this is nice and thick, and we are getting a good enough thickness for our little branchy looking stems. And I'm going to do one over here. Now we don't want to inundate this thing with too many, so I'm just going to try and keep it to this. So let's just leave it at this. Now let's go into the green. Yeah, let's go into the green. So there's my green. And I'm going to start creating some little green bits around here. So you can create another layer and make sure you have drawing assist on. And again, it'll reflect what we have going on with the drawing guide on this layer as well. And you can rename it to whatever you want. So I'm going to rename it to green. Done. And now we'll, whoops, excuse me. Now we're going to start creating our little green twigs or what have you. So I'm going to have them intertwined and have them like very soft ish and dainty, almost like some of those wildflowers you would see, maybe like the snap peas. So I'm just kind of again doing linear lines and kind of just allowing my mind to kind of dictate what I want to do where. And you don't have to have them going directly over what we've already created. Actually, yes, I'm going to undo this. So for the undo, you're just kind of clicking this arrow button over here to undo. So I just want to undo that because I've decided I want to make sure that I am not going directly over it. And I want this to look a little more organic and rough as opposed to very planned and meticulous. All right, so we'll leave it at this. Now we're going to go to the next layer, make sure assisted drawing is on again. And now we're going to start creating the florals. So the first ones I want to do are like the daisies. And for that, I made sure that I got like this cute orange for the center, and then I did white for the outside. So this is easy. So we're just going to start creating some over on this end. And the reason we're doing different layers is so that we can always undo or erase if it's easier, if we need to, sorry, later. So I'm just going to create these tiny little circles in these different areas. I've got 3. Let's do another one here, 4, and let's do 5 over here. And now I'm going to go ahead, select the white, and we're going to create these little petals attaching, or that look like they're attaching to this little orangey center. So just kind of keep on doing this all around for all these areas. And this is typically what we're going to be doing for the rest of the florals too, but just on a varying scale of size. So here we go, just kind of going around. You can even zoom in and make sure you've got, like, if you want it to be a little extra dainty. There we go. So I'm not focusing too much on how it looks because these are so tiny, the details, that when you look at it as a whole, that's what kind of makes it pop. So we've done these, and now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the same kind but in a lighter blue. So sorry, the darker blue first. So I've selected my blue. I'm going to select another layer, and then again making sure drawing assist is on. We're going to create the same little florals that we've been doing so far. So these ones I'm going to make sure that they're kind of in and out in different areas here. So I'm going to create the outsides first, the outer petals first, and I'm going to try and make sure that they're a little bit tinier than what you see And then just do a couple around them as well. Just like that. So literally you could all just be doing little teardrop shapes and creating these little florals. Right? And for these centers, we're going to make it white. And this way all the colors will blend in nicely. We've got some great contrast. It's nice and soft. It'll be pretty. All right, so there we go. And now I'm going to select the white and we're going to create the centers. Again, like I said, you can just pinch wide with your fingers if you want to zoom in and create these for a better view. Now we're going to select the lighter blue, and I'm not going to create another layer for this. I'm just going to create these on the same here. So we're just going to go ahead and create these lighter blue florals and try and make them smaller if you can than the others, just to give it a variety of different shapes and sizes. It would really help with the overall look of the floral that we're doing. I'm going to do some over on this end. Feel free to like create some on top of the stems as well. And the reason being is because these are on different layers, so you're not directly drawing over it. So do not be scared to do something like that. So you can have some nice overlapping because they're all on different layers, so don't forget. All right, so we've done this, and before I do too many, I'm just going to let's do one more here. And then we'll go back to the white and add these little white centers to these ones as well. The white always adds such a nice harmony to everything. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do something that is, we want to do like little berries, right? So what I'm going to do is pick this light brown that we have, and we're going to do some berries. So for the berries, I'm just going to possibly just have it coming out of the brown stems and just not connecting. So we're just going to create these little dots all around where we see the brown stems. Oh, we didn't create a new layer for this. You know what? I'm just going to make sure it doesn't overlap with the other florals, but feel free to make a new layer for this one as well if you wish. And just create these little tiny dots in threes if you wish, just making sure you've got some nice tiny dots to trail off to give it that nice soft look. Again, let's do some over here. I don't want to get too close to the to that blue floral there, so I'm just going to try and soften it. And different variations in size for the berries too, guys, okay? All right, let's just do, no, not there, over here. And then I want to do like little florals that look kind of like the lavender-ish feel. So for that, let's definitely create a new layer, and we're going to select the orange. And so for that, I'm just going to do very light little strokes, kind of just like starting. Oh, one thing we need to do before we do this is make sure assisted drawing is on. So click on that and make sure drawing assist is on, and now then this way it'll reflect all over. It's a good thing I caught that, otherwise that would have been a shame. So I'm just literally doing the same kind of motion that we did, or drawing these little oval type petals, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it on the little green stems that we have, and just make it look like it's part of the whole spiel. And I'm just going to add a couple of dots to the ends as well to give it that fade. So I'll do some over here too, just to kind of make it seem like it's tying up nicely with this little white floral there, and it's like in the background. That's perfect. I'll do some over here. And I'll do some over here on this end too. Now this is overlapping that floral, and that's okay. I'm just going to do just like a couple of little dots over here on this side. And I think overall this looks great. Let's not add any more, otherwise it's going to look too orangey. So the last thing I want to do, I think I'm pretty satisfied with this. The last thing I want to do is just go back to the daisy, white daisy section, and I'm just going to add some tinier daisies, and then I think we are done. So I'm just going to make my brush slightly smaller using that handle there, and yep, the assist is on. Perfect. I'm just going to create these really quickly, and maybe even leave some with just like tiny little dots like that. It gives it like some nice, you're giving it detail without giving it too much detail, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to do some over here, do some on this end. Again, I'm just adding like tiny little dots that could kind of pass for flowers. I'll do one over here. Perfect. And we've got like this really pretty space happening here. So I'm now going to turn off, actually I'm going to start a new layer, and making sure that assist is not on. What we're going to do, just so it doesn't look like it's completely like a template for each quarter, we're just going to go back in and get some of the green and just add a couple of leaves here and there. And this is what's going to make it look a lot more sporadic and less like a cookie cutter drawing. So I'm just going to do a couple of leaves on either of these sides, creating these stems here. I mean, the stems are, some of them are already pre-created and we haven't used them. So I'm just adding some leaf detail to it. And we are almost done. Feel free to add some leaves, just kind of poking out like this without necessarily a stem attached, or without it being attached to a stem, rather. Doing some all around this way. Let's do some over here. Perfect. This guy can use some as well. Why not? We can have one kind of, no, let's not overcomplicate things that do not need to be complicated. So I'm just filling up some of the bare areas here that could use some leaves. And yeah, and then we are done. So almost finished. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys thought of this video. This was just a light, fun, and airy video to kind of get your creative juices flowing in how you can kind of just use a brush, start drawing some regular florals, mixing some different colors, and figuring out how to create something pretty. And I guess a little bit of practice as well to realize like it is actually quite easy if you just make the effort to try. So let me know in the comments if you do happen to post this on Facebook or Instagram. Please do tag me. My handle is Hello Clarice G, and I would love to see your work. Like I said, if you're into watercolor as well, please feel free to check out some of my other watercolor videos. And otherwise, just stick with the Procreate. Procreate's something fun that I like to do, and so I've decided to kind of share how I do some of the work in Procreate and what my inspiration, or how I get my inspiration. And typically, like, this is what would happen. Turning off my drawing guide right now so you guys can see what the end result looks like. And here we go. We've got this really cute, pretty, dainty looking wreath. And you can probably use it for a printed card or whatever you want. Write your name in there, an initial, anything your heart desires. So, in conclusion, hope you guys like this video. Please do hit the like button, and looking forward to being tagged in all your beautiful work. So thanks guys for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye.